Ever wonder if some jobs are just like meant for men or women?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are there so many female nurses but so few female mechanics,
Right, right.
Well, it turns out there's actual data on this.
Oh, interesting.
You sent us this fascinating analysis of gender distribution across different jobs.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's got some pretty eye-opening stuff.
Absolutely. This data isn't just about numbers.
Right.
It's a snapshot of like how societal norms and expectations actually shape our choices, even in the workplace. And by digging into these patterns, we can start to see where progress is being made and where work still needs to be done.
So let's just jump right in. Here it is.
You all ready? Let's get it started.
In the data skies, we take our flight. Trends and numbers come to life. Colors and charts, they dance and play. Showing truth in a visual way. In GenderDecoded, we uncover truths and stories like no other. In the data waves we find the secret maps of humankind.
So let's jump right in. One of the first things that pops out is how some jobs are still, like, seriously gendered.
Oh, for sure.
Secretary, kindergarten teacher, nurse. I mean, no surprises there, right? Mostly women.
Yeah.
But then, flip side, mechanic, ROTC instructor, driver's ed teacher.
Leaning way male.
Heavily male, yeah.
And this isn't just random, right? It all goes back to those old ideas about women's work.
Yeah.
You know, caring, nurturing, teaching.
Right.
While men are supposed to be the ones fixing things, giving orders, that kind of thing.
It's like those expectations just get passed down generation after generation.
And the analysis actually mentions studies that say 75 to 80% of elementary school teachers in a lot of countries are women.
Whoa, 80%. That's wild.
It is. Shows you how strong those expectations can be.
For sure. Makes you think, though, are those expectations starting to change at all?
Good question. And actually, the next part of the data kind of threw me for a loop.
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
When you look at those higher up jobs, like principal, assistant principal, and even those making over $100,000 a year,
Okay.
it's way more balanced between men and women.
Oh, interesting. Like almost even.
Yeah, much closer. And it could mean a couple of things, right?
Like what?
Well, maybe this organization is just really good at promoting equality, you know, encouraging women to go for those leadership roles.
Makes sense.
Or maybe they've got policies that make things easier for women, like flexible schedules to help with family stuff.
Which, let's face it, usually falls more on women.
Exactly. But, you know, got to remember, this is just one organization.
True, true. It makes me wonder if we'd see the same thing in other companies, other industries.
For sure.
Hey, listeners, what about you? Does this more balanced thing at the top, does that match what you see in your own work world? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
Okay, so there were a couple more things in this analysis that really surprised me.
Oh, lay it on me.
Okay, so the gender breakdown for tech jobs and custodial roles, way more mixed than I expected.
Yeah.
And especially tech, right? Because
Yeah.
we always hear about how there aren't enough women in tech.
That's true.
So what do you make of that? In this organization, it's different.
Well, it could be a few things, right? Maybe they're just really good at making women in tech feel welcome.
Yeah.
Like a really inclusive environment. Or maybe more women are choosing tech careers, but just within this company, you know? Like maybe there's something specific about the culture.
Interesting.
Because there's actually a lot of research that shows that when you have more gender diversity, especially in tech, companies do better.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, they tend to be more innovative, come up with new ideas better, and just be more productive overall.
Wow, so maybe this unusual mix they've got going on, maybe that's their secret weapon.
It could be, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is. And it kind of ties into that whole push to get more women into STEM, you know? Science, technology, engineering, math.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Big movement happening there. And maybe, just maybe, this data is showing us that it's starting to work, even if just a little bit.
Fingers crossed. So, big picture, what are we seeing here?
Well, it seems like those old gender roles are still definitely playing a part in what jobs people choose.
Right.
But there are also some signs that things are changing, yeah.
Especially in leadership roles and those higher-paying jobs.
Exactly. But it's important to remember that even though we see some progress, those old expectations, they're still hanging around.
Definitely. Still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive, I gotta say. Really makes you think.
Yeah, it does.
And for all of you listening, here's something to chew on. You know how we've been looking at this data like it's a snapshot, right? Like a frozen moment in time.
Right.
But what about the future? What do you think work will look like 10 years from now? 20 years?
Good question.
Will we see more progress toward a truly balanced workforce? Or will those old ideas keep holding us back? What do you think, listeners?
Lots to think about.
Lots to think about, for sure. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See ya!